Hey guys, welcome to class. Today I have no plan, so that is the plan. So let's close our eyes and draw our attention inward and just see what arises in today's class. So as you take a comfortable seat, draw your attention inward. Let's get connected to each other. And we'll get started in downward facing dog. In the usual down dog, your hands are at the top, feet are at the back, and then walk the dog out right to left. As we start to get connected to each other, let's start to get connected to the sensations within the physical body. And what if today we just didn't label anything? It just is. Now in an earlier video I talked about oscillation, so let's practice that. So you're going to tuck your chin into your chest. What I want you to think about is you're going to drive forward with your head. So you're going to tuck your chin in and then lean forward, rolling through the upper back, the middle back, the lower back, and come right into high plank. As you hold your high plank, tuck your chin into your chest, you're going to oscillate again. Upper back, lower back, tailbone, heels of the feet come in contact with the floor. And let's practice that a few times. So at some point it becomes about the connection with the breath. So maybe right now you're just watching me as I move back and forth. Maybe you're at that point in your practice where you're doing it with me because you've created that connection. And what happens is the body becomes a little bit more supple. And then the joints start to loosen up a little bit. And there's that pivotal moment in your practice where your fire starts to get turned on. And you make a conscious effort to engage it, getting stronger by the moment. And on the next oscillation, we'll go right into low plank. All the way down to the belly for Bhujangasana. And we'll exhale lower. Again, lift and lower. Push yourself back, child's pose. Again, feel that oscillation where you're rounding through the lower back. And then come into Swan Pose, where you're going to oscillate. It's an oscillating kind of day. Much like life, right? It's constantly oscillating. And as you oscillate on this next one, leave your forearms down on the ground like if you were going into Sphinx pose. And come as far forward as you can. In this oscillation, you're going to feel that your wrists want to lift up and your chest will rise. And then again, drop your elbows. Start to drop the elbows. Lower it towards the floor. Child's pose. Back to swan. Just working on the oscillation. And then one more time back to child's pose as you drop your elbows down and your tailbone reaches for the heels of your feet. Coming into fire toes. Walk your hands to the back of the mat for Cobblers Pose. So the balls of your feet are going to come together, your knees are going to be open. You might start to find your center of gravity. Perhaps you want to balance here. You can just bring your hands to your knees. It's a little different from fire toes because we're externally rotating through the thigh bones, connecting with the core. It's actually a great setup for when you want to do an arm balance like baby pose, or a baby crow, excuse me. And one more breath. And just like we did earlier, our hands are going to come all the way forward again into downward facing dog. And walk the dog out right to left. And walk your hands a little bit closer towards the top of the mat if your dog was too short. We'll inhale the right leg up and bring it through to the top of the mat, warrior one. Open up the chest, lower the hips. Exhale into warrior two. Parallel to the floor they are. Look over the middle finger. Lean a little forward with your right arm. Take a peaceful warrior where the left arm comes down and the right arm goes up towards the sky. Now see if you can bend a little bit deeper into the right leg at the same time. Side angle stretch. The right hand's going to come down to the mat as the left arm comes forward. It's going to reach over the head. You're going to look underneath your armpit. Push through the blade of the back foot. Bring your left hand down to the mat so your arms are going to be at a 45-degree angle. Keep drawing your right leg back. Elongate your spine. Feel your arms are really strong here. Now if you want a little bit more, take your right hand, place it on the right knee. Look over towards the right foot. Keep that left leg nice and active and see if you can lower your hips towards the floor a little bit more. Breathing in through the nose and out. On the next breath, lower the right hand down to the mat. Start to take your hands back towards the top of the mat. Slide the right leg back, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. As you start to feel a little bit more limber, one more time, you're going to bring that right leg up towards the sky. Bring it through to the top of the mat. The left leg is going to come up nice and high, standing splits. Walk your fingertips out in front of you as far as you can. Come up high under your tippy toe. Just sort of explore the oscillation of the ball of the foot. We'll lower the heel down to the ground. Walk your fingertips in. Pull the left knee in. And then extend it back. One more time, pull it in. Interlace the fingers over the knee. Come all the way up, nice and slow, finding your balance. Strong right leg. Now your two peace fingers, and you're going to grab the big toe of your left foot. Find that external rotation for dancing Shiva. So the right arm comes out, then the left leg goes out and hold. On the next breath, slowly from here, find your awkward chair. You're going to dangle the right ankle over the left knee. Arms are going to extend nice and high. Pull the belly button in and up. Fingertips go all the way down to the floor. Get a big breath in and a big breath out. Come all the way into toe. So walk yourself down to the mat. Find your center of gravity. Hands to prayer at the center of the chest. So maybe you just start with one hand. And then maybe you start with another hand. You want to find your center first before you move on. And as you back out, both hands are going to come out in front of you. You can use the strength of your arms to help you come all the way back up. As you come up nice and slow back into your awkward chair, start to straighten your legs and release the left foot. Back bend, open up the chest and lean back. Exhale, fold. Bring the hands down to the mat. Lengthen the spine. The right leg is going to come back. Now push through the heel of the foot and flex that foot just like you did a little bit earlier so you can feel some movement here. Slide the left leg back to meet it, downward facing dog. And we'll come forward. Oh, here's that oscillation again. Come forward in your oscillation. High plank. Exhale into low plank. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Walk your dog out nice and sweet. Maybe rock your hips from side to side. Feeling some subtleties within the physical body. And we're going to do the left side. So inhale the left leg up. Bring it through to the top of the mat. Warrior one. Grounding through the feet. Now we already started working our spinal column and the oscillation. So now we're working on opening up the legs at the same time. Come into warrior two. Everything opens up. Keep working on leaning into this leg. So the left arm comes forward. You feel that leaning into the left leg. Peaceful warriors. The right arm comes down and your left arm comes up. Reach up as far as you can. Stretch it out. Now in the side angle stretch, the left hand's going to come down to the mat. Right arm reaches high. Reach the right arm over. Can you feel that space that's getting created from your obliques, the hip point to the floating rib cage? Now as the right hand comes to a 45-degree angle, the left hand is going to meet it. Breathing in through the nose and out. Can you soften your left leg a little bit so you're not holding any weight in the toes, and then you can sink a little bit more into that left leg. The left hand goes to the knee, and then you open up towards the left side of the room. A little bit more of a twist. Engage the back leg at the same time. One more breath. The left hand's going to meet the right. Slowly start to walk everything in towards each other. You'll come up onto the ball of the back foot. Now here's that oscillation of the foot I talked about. Right leg's going to come up nice and high. Your fingertips are going to come way out in front of you, and I want you to wake up your left foot. Well, this is going to help us find some stability in our chair pose as well. So as we ground through the heel of the left foot, the right leg comes in. Notice if you need to create any more space. Then as that right leg goes back, walk your hands in a little bit more. Pull the left knee in, or come up nice and slow and balance. As this knee comes in, start to find that external rotation through the right hip flexor for your dancing Shiva. You can place your left hand on your hip. Two-piece fingers, you're going to grab the big toe. Open up even more. And then extend the right leg out and the left arm at the same time. Feeling pretty grounded through the feet. Open, open, open. Awkward chair. Place the right ankle on top of the left knee. Hands come out in front of us. Find your center. Slowly descend, bringing the hands all the way down to the mat. This is a great stretch So feel the opening through the hips. Try to relax the shoulders away from your ears at the same time. We're going to move into toe pose. Here's those fire toes, which we practiced earlier in our Cobblers Pose. You bring your hands out to your sides, and you're looking to find your stability. Now it comes through the pelvic bowl. So once you start to find it in your pelvic bowl, you can bring the right hand up, and then maybe the left hand comes up as well. Keep breathing. Remember, keeping both hands down if you're feeling unstable. The practice of yoga has nothing to do with being proud. The hands come out in front of us. Oh, start to lean a little forward so you can come out of the pose. Your intention is to try to back out. Oh, use that core, and the right foot will meet the left. Find your back bend. And then exhale, fold. On your inhale, lengthen the spine. Let's bring the left leg back. Just like you did earlier, just enjoy the stretch. So you can oscillate through that foot, sort of get it stimulated, because that was a lot of weight. It should be burning a little bit. Then you make the transition where you come into high plank. Exhale into low. Inhale into up dog. So in this up dog, can you focus on the oscillations we've been talking about? Where literally you're going to round through the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, through the chin, back into downward facing dog. Walk it out again, right to left. We'll inhale that left leg up towards the sky. It'll come through to the top of the mat. The right leg is going to meet it. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, folding. Inhale, arms up nice and high. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, lengthen. From here, slowly, just like we did earlier, you're going to toe heel your feet together. Cobblers pose. So as your hands come down to the mat and your feet start to open up, just like we started off class, here we are in Cobblers pose. Now you can do it from a back bend, but I want you to think about really rounding through the pelvic bowl to start to find your stability as your hands come to your knees. It makes for a great transition. One more breath. You can lower your hands all the way down to the mat. And from here, slowly roll all the way down so you're in a seated position. Baddha Konasana, where the balls of your feet are going to come together. Open them up like a book. Two-piece fingers can grab the big toes. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Lean a little bit more forward so the chest is now verting towards the top of the mat. You can take your hands and press them onto the thighs. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, go a little bit further. Again, inhale, lengthening. Exhale, a little bit further. Use your hands to bring your knees in. Slowly roll onto your back. Getting ready for a spine twisting. We'll bring both knees in today. What I'd like you to do is roll over onto the right side. But as you roll over onto the right side, have your palms meet each other. So notice that your knees and your armpits are going to be pretty close to each other. You're going to sweep your left arm up over your head. Then it's going to go towards the back of your mat. Then it's going to go towards the left side of the room. And then you're going to rest all the way down on the ground. Breathing in through the nose and out. I like getting into spine twisting this way. It sort of releases pressure that I might be feeling in my QL. Helps me open up through the pecs a little bit more. So we'll try it on the other side to swing your knees to the middle of the mat. Now bring your feet down to the ground. Take your hips over towards the right. Pull your knees into your chest and then roll over. Your hands are going to be palms together. Take the right arm up over the head. Take your right arm towards the back of the mat. Tuck your chin in and then just enjoy the stretch. Try to keep those knees as tight as possible. A few more breaths here. And just like we did on the other side, when you make the transition, I want you to use your core to pull both knees in. Place the feet on the floor, adjust your hips so that your hips are in line with the top of your head. Extend your arms and your legs out nice and wide. Just bring your arms up over your head and start to relax the shoulders away from your ears. Maybe you slip them in so that they're behind you instead of beside you. Press the back of your head into the mat. Allow your fingertips to naturally curl up and your feet to naturally turn out, however that feels for you. If there is any straining going on within the physical body, then go ahead and relax it. Bring them in a little bit closer, perhaps, or stretch it out a little bit further. We'll close our eyes and draw our attention inward. And we'll bring our right hand to our heart and our left hand to our belly. Coming back to our connection. Grateful for this time together. From my heart to yours, namaste.